Hey guys, my name is Nori and welcome back to my channel. Oh, hello. If you are new here, which a lot of you guys are, my name is Nori and I read a lot of books, apparently, as you can see from the background. I love to read me some books. So I took a week off because if you did not know, I actually film in bulk, so I do like 2 to 3 videos at a time and then I'll space it out between a week. But because of the movement and the revolution that is going on, I put all of my focus, all of my time into signing petitions, donating, and protesting and starting conversations and arguments. Y'all, this week last week had been absolutely tough for me, and seeing the people that I care about on BookTube protesting and making these discussion videos and everything. I will have all of them linked down below. That includes Jessie, we have Mina, we have Mayona, Christina Marie, we have Tiana T, we have Francina, we have B. I loved their video. Again, I'm going to have all of the content creators and their videos linked down below. I'm also going to leave resources, petitions, and stuff. There is a website where if you click on it, it is going to take you to all the petitions, all the donations, all the resources, and that's where I've been getting all of my stuff. So I'm gonna link it down below, y'all. And this is not time to just sit around and do nothing, y'all. This time is so crucial because now we are taking actions. The government is starting to notice, laws are being formed, cases are being opened. Y'all, this is not the time to stay silent. This is not over. Be proactive, stay proactive, please. But we are back. And I was like, you know what, let me put some makeup on and I'll think of what I'm gonna do. And I was like, well, duh. June is Pride Month, and a lot of people have been asking for recommendations on Black authors. And I was like, Pride Month, Black authors, boom. Without further ado, we're gonna jump right in. So the first book that I'm going to be talking about, it is Felix Ever After by Kason Calendar. First of all, this cover, chef's kiss. It is doing all kinds of things for me. I absolutely love it. So Felix is a Black, queer, transgender boy, and he's going through high school, y'all. Like, that's tough right there. So somebody in the school starts blackmailing Felix and putting his before transitioning photos, and Felix devises a plan to get back at this person, but things don't go as planned and you go from there. So this is definitely a coming of age story about self-discovery and finding love. This is definitely fans for Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda. So if you love that book, honest to God, pick this book up because it is good. Next up, we have Pet by Akoiki Emezi. Y'all, I will not shut up about this book. Y'all need to read it. I'm telling you, I freaking love this book. Definitely top 5 favorite reads of 2020. I will not shut up about this book, like, ever. So this follows Jam, and Jam is a transgender teen living in Lucille. Now, Lucille is special because there are no monsters in the streets. Monsters have been defeated already, so everybody is safe. But Jam's mother is a painter, and when this ridiculous creature comes out of the painting and tells Jam, hey, you have a monster living among you guys and I'm here to destroy it, things take a turn for the worst. And oh man, I constantly think about this book because honestly the writing was amazing, the plot was brilliant, I loved it, y'all. I freaking loved it. I will not shut up about it, so please pick it up. Alright, next book here. It has not released yet. When I saw that, I was like, oh no. It releases this month on June 30th, and that is Finding Joy by Adriana Herrera. Now, this book follows Elias and Desta. And Desta finds himself back into his homeland in Ethiopia, where like the happiest moments of his life are, and also the saddest. And then Elias has been struggling for months because he has an opportunity to go study his doctorates in the US, but doesn't want to leave Africa. He doesn't want to leave Ethiopia. So when these two souls meet and connect, they have to confront their past in order to see in the future. And when something threatens their future, you know, they're gonna have to work together and put love on the line. I know it sounds corny, but I was like, oh my god, how freaking cute is this? I absolutely loved it. And also, I know Adriana has other queer romances. This is just one that I stumbled on trying to do my research, and honestly, I cannot wait for this to come out because, again, this cover, man, all of these covers are stunning. Next here we have Hurricane Child by Karen Callender and Kason Callender. Now again, with the covers, I'm telling you, all of these covers are beautiful except for one, but I'm still interested in that story. Moving on, this follows a 12-year-old Caroline, and she is a hurricane child, which means she was born when a hurricane hit the island, which signifies that she is trouble and it is bad luck. So everybody looks down on her and nobody likes her. You know, she's a 12-year-old girl and she's having trouble fitting in anywhere she goes. And on top of that, her mother left when she was a young age. So she decides that she's going to go out and seek her mother and find out what happened to her. And then she meets Kalinda and they both team up to see what happened to her mother. Now, yes, this is a middle grade book, but it is queer because this is friends to lovers trope. A lot of people have already read this book and absolutely loved it. So if you have not picked it up, go ahead and do so. The next book that we have, it is The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. Now this book has been getting quite some hype recently, and for good reason. This follows a guy and his struggles throughout life to find out his sexuality, and when he goes to university, he finds himself and he finds his joy being a drag artist. Now again, I've heard nothing but incredible things about this book. This book was published last year and I'm now hearing about it. I know, bro, like what the heck. But honestly, I'm glad that it is getting hype, and on Goodreads it has like a 4.44 overall. So honestly, whoever picks this book up is probably going to love it. So add it to your list. The next one, it is more towards an author shout out, and that is Rivers Solomon, and they are a non-binary author. Now I read The Deep last year and I don't want to say it was like, oh my god, it was such a good experience, because honestly it was not, because this book is dark and it is haunting and it is beautiful. So I've already read Rivers Solomon's book, and honestly I think that they are a great author. Now that book, also The Deep, has a queer representation, and then we have An Unkindness of Ghost also. Now these two books have sci-fi fantasy vibes from it, and honestly I urge you to check them out. Honestly, I don't know why people are not hyping this author up, because I think that their work and their writing are like exquisite, beautiful storytelling. But when I tell you that it's a little rough because of how close it hits to home and all of the important topics that they talk about, it's rough, but it is important, and I urge you to pick up Rivers Solomon. I think Jessie has an MB book club, and I think they're gonna pick up this book as well. So again, do your research, go on Twitter, follow Jessie, because I'm pretty sure that this is going to be the next book club pick. The next book that I'm going to show you guys, it is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. And this is it's a memoir, but it is pretty much a collection of essays describing the author's experience being a Black queer boy, and it transitions all the way to his adult life. So it really does touch on the topic of gender identity, toxic masculinity, you have structural marginalizations, you celebrate Black joy. Again, this book has been getting a lot of hype, and for good reason. Now, actually, I started reading this, and ooh, it's tough, but it is absolutely beautiful. And I really, 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 really hope that you pick this up. Alright, the next book, it is Little and Lion by Brandy Colbert. Now, I recently read a Brandy Colbert book, and I absolutely loved this. So you know I quickly added this book to my TBR. It follows Suzette and Lionel. Now, Suzette is coming from boarding school, so she's going back home, and the family is going through some troubles because Lionel, her stepbrother, has been diagnosed with a bipolar disorder. Now, when Lionel and Suzette start actually liking and crushing on the same girl, you know, that brings some tea and some drama. This book, again, it's an oldie, but it is a goodie, as I heard. So I was like, of course I'm going to add it to my list. And again, I have it on hold, so I cannot wait for it to come in. Next book here, I was kind of shocked because I kept, again, if you did not know, I have been absolutely obsessed with Kindle romances. You did not know Rebecca Weatherspoon, honestly, her romances are top notch. So I was like looking and glancing, and I kept looking at this cover, and I'm gonna put it up here, and it's at her feet. It is at her feet. I was like, oh, nah, I kind of don't like this cover, so I'm gonna skip by it. But then I saw this on a like queer romance recommendations, and I clicked on it, and then I realized this is a sapphic BDSM romance. Oh my god, I was like, yes. So I already read things by Rebecca Weatherspoon. Again, I think that she's a fantastic author, and her romance and her eroticas are chef's kiss. Again, this is a sapphic BDSM romance between a female dom and another female submissive. So y'all, I added it to my list, and I'm telling you guys so you can add it to your list too. I cannot wait to read this book. The next book that we have here, it is The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Junauda Petrus. So this follows Audrey and Mabel. Now, Audrey lives in Trinidad, and she gets sent to live in America because her strict religious mother caught her with her secret girlfriend, which was the pastor's daughter. That's some tea right there. And then we follow Mabel, who lives in Minneapolis, and she is questioning her identity, and she's also have been feeling really sick as of lately. So when these two lives cross together, you know, something happens, which I'm not going to say, and it brings them together in this devastating moment, and there is a romance. And honestly, this book, yes, it is a romance, but I've heard that the family aspect in this book and the aspects of the community are incredible. So people, they say that the romance is really good, but that aspect honestly makes a book so worth it. And when I was like, y'all know I'm a sucker for like found families, and I'm a sucker for families and communities. So when I heard that, I was like, I need this book, and so do you. And the last and final book that I'm going to mention, it is War Girls by Toche Onyebuchi. Y'all, I love this book, and I'm not going to stop talking about it either until y'all pick this book up. So War Girls is a dystopian Black Panther-esque inspired world set in a war war-torn Nigeria. Now, both of these main characters have been separated by war, and they're trying to find a way back to each other. Now, one of the main characters is a queer, and there is a female-female relationship, plus there are more queer characters in this story. Honestly, hands down, incredible freaking book, y'all. I cannot recommend it enough, y'all. Go pick this up, because I'm not gonna stop talking about it all year. And that is it for some of my Black and POC authors for June. Y'all, there are so many other books that I did not mention, because if not, this would be hours long. But the point that I'm trying to get across is that if you do some research, if you go on Google, there is a ton of books and resources out there, y'all. All it takes is just a little bit of research, but because I like to make videos and I like to document my findings, this is why this video is up here. Again, thank you so much for all of your love and support, and do not forget another PSA announcement, y'all. Reading diversely should not be that difficult. Honestly, there are authors that write sci-fi, fantasy, romance, erotica. We got graphic novels. We have everything under the sun. All you have to do is look for it. Reading diversely is not a task. It is something that we all need to do. If you are an ally, and if you make videos and you're only doing it through like white authors, there's really no point, because you cannot control who watches you and who subscribes to you. So make sure that you are reading diversely, y'all. Please. Again, thank you so much for watching my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.